Bring it in, James.
As you can see, we've got the fucking Kingslayer.
Yes.
Danny Mitchell in here, man. Ricardo, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah,
Good to be on.
Danny, how you doing?
Yeah, good. I've been fucking dying of a chest infection for about 2 months, but I'm alright.
You been to China, have you? Fucking bring
Nah,
that shit
yeah.
back with you.
I might have a fucking dodgy chow mein though.
Oh man, so anyone that's watching can see we've got the fucking BKB strap here. And
Yes.
most people, 10,000 people have watched your documentary now.
Yeah, I think
Dethroning the
nearly-
King.
that was a good documentary.
Yeah, sick.
Hats off to Josh for doing that. That was good, really good.
Yeah, so talk to us about one. I actually want to know how you two got together, like how you started linking up, because you're talking a lot about being around positive people and stuff like that, and you two seem to have fucking clicked, like you seem like best friends or whatever. So how did that happen? And then we'll get into how you went and got this.
Yeah, obviously I've been running. I've been coaching MMA pretty much. I left school at 15. I went to college for a couple of years, and I was doing martial arts since I was 10 years old. So and then I just left college, and I'm like, fucking hell, I don't really know what I want to do. Just started teaching martial arts. Started just teaching my mates to start with. So I had someone to train with. I had people to train with. I'd competed in like amateur kickboxing when I were at school, and then I wanted to do MMA. I think I watched UFC 3. That was the first one I watched back in the day.
Yes.
We all got around at my mate's house, VHS. We watched UFC 3, and then I wanted to do MMA. So I'm just like coaching my mates what little I knew at the time, and it ended up just becoming a thing. And I've just coached ever since. I've never really had a job or anything like that. I'm 33 now, and I've just coached. Yeah. So over the years, there's been different gyms and stuff, and I've moved around. But AVT in Leeds. I'm from Doncaster, but I ended up in Leeds.
How long has ATV been established for now?
It's been 8 years, but I was in like Dewsbury with a cage steel gym. That's how I ended up in West Yorkshire. I had a gym in Doncaster, and then I ended up getting an offer to run the cage steel gym, which at the time it's like a sick gym. It had a full size cage in. There were no other gyms like that, and I'm like, shit, yeah, let's do it. So I started running that, and I think I ran that for about 18 months. And then the guy who actually owned the building, who owned the brand Cage Steel, was just like, yeah, I don't really want to do MMA anymore. I'm into fucking racing cars. So now he puts like fucking rally cars and shit in there. So what used to be the gym is now just like rally cars and shit like that. So, but yeah, that's how I ended up. Then I said, right, I'm going to have to stay in this area. So I think we ended up on Bradford Road.
Yeah.
And that was AVT, Asylum Valley Tudo. That was our first proper gym as AVT, and then it went from there. But I think Rico sort of came in. Where were the gym when you started training with me?
It was Bradford Road one, I think.
Yeah,
And then it
Dewsbury.
was
Yeah,
in Thorn as well.
yeah.
He had a little one in Thorn at the time.
Thorn in Doncaster. So I had like a little small where we were just sort of training each other there, just training with my mates. But the main gym was in Leeds. So
I was starting in Gainsborough, but I wanted to like take to the next level. And then I think we got Danny in for a seminar at our gym in Gainsborough, and I really like his style of coaching. And then he opened up a gym in Thorn, and I thought, yeah, me and my mate, we just went over there and was like, I'm going to try it out, and that was it. It must have been about how many years?
that must have been like
7.
yeah, probably.
I reckon maybe.
Yeah, probably 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So a long time. But he'd had a couple of fights when he started training with me. He'd already had a couple of fights.
And what was that in? What was that? Jiu-jitsu? What were you doing?
Mixed martial arts,
Yeah,
MMA, yeah, amateur MMA. I might have maybe 4 fights or something like that. So just starting off.
Yeah, because did you lose your first 2 fights?
Yeah, I lost my first 2.
So a
One
lot of people lose the first fight and you never
Yeah.
fucking see him again.
First ever 2 fights I lost, and obviously in my head I was like, right, I need another fight. I need to win. And I can remember just cutting loads of weight for this 3rd fight, same day weigh-in, and it was against this Scouser, so it made it even better. He was an idiot as well, but yeah, I managed to win. 3rd round submission. It was like the best. It made the win even better. So that was a good win.
Yeah. So then I think shortly after that, that's when he started training with me and stuff, and then it just kind of went from there. And I've always had this thing where, you know, I've had a lot of fights in my career. I think about 105, 106 altogether. You know, when you count boxing, MMA, K1, everything, amateur and pro. So I'd get a call and I'd go to America and fight on like 5 days' notice, shit like that. So Rico kind of
followed it.
Yeah, he just basically followed that. So I'd be like, Rico, there's this fucking fight this weekend, and he'd be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. So he just became
whatever he said. I literally just did. I was like, right, fine, fair enough.
He's had a lot of fights. You know, he's been fucking injured and poorly and stuff, and he's just still done it. So yeah, he didn't give a fuck.
So how did the route to BKB? How did that come about then?
Basically, I've always liked striking, so I love MMA. I love like the whole thing of MMA, but then I love boxing as well. But I'm not really keen on. I don't have a passion for glove boxing because you can, you know, it's a bit frustrating. MMA I love because it's like, you know, you feel a bit more free. But then I used to hate getting taken down all the time. So BKB's like mixed in both, innit? So without gloves. So I've always wanted like a straightener. Basically, I was like either like illegal or illegal. And I was talking to Danny about it about maybe 3-4 years ago. Like I kept like hinting, you know, I wouldn't mind fighting bare knuckle. And then eventually the show, the promoter come up to Danny and said they want Danny on the show. And this is like the perfect opportunity to fight. I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because I'd just retired at this point. I'd retired from fighting. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And then that's when they got in contact with me, like, you know, we're looking for like ex-UFC fighters, stuff like that. Like, you know, are you interested? And I'm like, fucking, I'd love to do it, but you know, right now I'm not in a position where I can fight anymore. So, but I said I've got a guy who's fucking keen to do it, and yeah.
And that was it.
So we got they invited us down. They said just come down, watch the show, see what you think.
So I went to London 02 and watched it, and then I was like, yeah, I need to get on the next show. I was like, I'm going to take all these out. Well, like I say, I only wanted to try it out just for a laugh, basically. Let's like see how it was, and you know, I've always wanted to try what a bare knuckle fight would be because it's different with gloves on. So you know, I thought I'm going to try it, see how it goes, and then after that first one, I actually got injured for the first one as well. I popped my knee, and I think I got bursitis on my knee, and it was like I couldn't even run week before. But anyway, I trooped on it, went 3 rounds, and after that, I just like I want to keep doing this. Amazing, good feeling.
Yeah, we didn't really know what to expect with that first fight. We didn't have a plan. Like now, because we know what to expect, we've got a bit of a plan, you know. And
that's crazy.
But that first one, we're just berserk. It's like fucking throwing punches everywhere. Like between rounds, I'm like, right, fucking hell, we need to do this.
That was the only fight I've hurt my knuckle. Like that was the only bare knuckle fight I've hurt my knuckling because I was just swinging mad shots. I think that's mainly why you get hand injuries because when it turns into a brawl, you're just kind of punching everywhere. You're punching elbows, but when you're more technical, you don't really get many hand injuries. I've not had any, only off MMA fights.
I was about to ask you how the fuck do you train for bare knuckle if you just watched it and like, yeah, now I'm gonna fight, but did you just figure it along the way and now you sat here with a fucking strap on? That's gonna piss a few people off probably.
Yeah, MMA fighter. I don't think they like it because an MMA fighter just come in and wiped everyone out.
That's it.
But yeah, it's mainly because do you know like pro MMA is small 4-ounce gloves, so it's kind of like it's a big shock when you take boxing gloves off and find the range. So I was kind of like I was used to the style kind of thing already. So yeah, you can't really in boxing gloves you can kind of hide behind them a little bit. That's why I think MMA fighters are doing good in it. To be fair.
Yeah, because MMA you used to like catching punches with your hands open, and you can't just like tuck up because there's too many gaps, and you can't go crazy with punches because you've only got little gloves on in MMA. So we're kind of used to that style. Whereas boxers, you know, depending on the style, a lot of boxers come in and they used to blocking with gloves, big gloves, and they used to throw in maybe 8 or 10 punch combinations, which you can't do in bare knuckle because if you throw 8 punches, you're guaranteed one of them's going to hit a fucking bone or something, and you're going to break your hand.
Elbow. That's it.
So I think I think for BKB it's like less shots. You throw less shots, trying to be more precise, and you don't need to throw big heavy punches either. You know, like in boxing with a glove on, you see people hitting pads like really fucking putting everything into it. But in bare knuckle, you don't need to because someone hits you with a bare fist with just an arm shot, it's gonna fucking hurt.
So I can remember when like the quarterfinals, basically just my left hand because I had bad injury in my right. But literally, we said the game plan was sharp jabs down the middle, and you end up just splitting the face open. So it works a treat.
Yeah, that's another thing. Obviously, when you're getting it with boxing gloves, it's like a different kind of damage you're taking. You know, it's more like an internal damage. You know, when you get in it with gloves, it's like that internal. You know what I mean? Like your face gets bust up a little bit, but it's like inside it hurts.
Constant.
Whereas with no gloves, it's more like external damage. Like you're getting cuts and eyes are swelling.
That's
up.
why people think bare knuckles more. It's like, oh, why do that? It's not good for you, like for your brains. But people don't really understand. Like you get a few good shots and you'll just get reset, switch off, get knocked out. But you're not getting that constant pressure on your brain. Obviously boxing, like they're all brain dead after so many fights, aren't they? So it's all that constant.
I think you're getting it with more shots in glove boxing just because more shots are getting thrown. Whereas in bare knuckle, it's less shots are getting thrown. You know, it's a different style.
Well, you're more likely to go down, aren't you?
It's just a different style. I think that's why a lot of boxers are going into it and getting fucked up and beat by MMA fighters. You got like fucking Artem Lobov beating Paulie, do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, what the fuck? That should never happen. That shouldn't have happened. That should have been like McGregor Mayweather. You know, it's clear Mayweather's going to win that fight with gloves on. But if they fought bare knuckle, it'd be different.
Yeah,
Definitely. Because it changes things. It changes how many punches you can throw, your targets of your punches.
Like I say, I'm not technically that great. I'm not even a great boxer. I'm just all right. It's you know what I mean, bare knuckle. It's like my style now.
The ring's smaller as well, with the BKB compared to like a boxing ring.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, isn't it?
I think it's 14 foot. I'm not exactly sure.
It's quite small.
But we've actually got a 20-foot ring at the gym. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting it cut down, so it's smaller.
We're just gonna get some hay bales.
Just so we can replicate it, because you need to train.
That must make a huge difference, though, right? That space in terms.
Oh,
of
definitely.
In front of
You can't
like to
just run off.
Yeah.
But what does that do for you in terms of like you're quite? I've watched your fights and stuff, and like you're a proper pressure fighter.
Yeah.
So I think like I remember we were sat here with James Kennelly, and he's quite technical, isn't he? He's quite slick. He's quite decent to watch at times. And he was saying like it just felt like you were just fucking in front of him, and like it must put a lot of pressure on people, like more than anything.
Yeah,
like how to deal with that pressure.
That's what they want, though, isn't it? They want you to just be like fucking sandwiched. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want you like on top of
like
each
when they
other.
get you in the hay bales, and it's just there's nowhere to move. But that is a bit extreme because you can't even move back. Next minute you're like in the hay bale, like that is a bit crazy.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want it for TV and stuff. They want to, if they made the ring bigger, the fights would be a bit more boring because people would step back and they'd be a bit more sort of thinking and feeling each other out. But they want you to just fight. They want to pull fans in. So it works for us.
I was gonna say they're doing a good job of it though, because it's
definitely.
It seemed like a massive. First time we got introduced to it was when the first time we met Smudger, wasn't it? He's like,
I was going for his first fight.
This was ages ago, like so long ago now, like 18 months, and we're like, what the fuck is bare knuckle? BKB, he's talking about BKB.
Some people still ask me now.
And we're like, this shit's wild.
Yeah.
And then it's just like seemed like a massive.
I think I got in at the right time, to be fair. I think they had a couple of shows at the O2 when I just started, and then my first one was at Liverpool. I think they just tried it there, but O2 sells out all the time now. I think they're going to go to Wembley soon as well.
Yeah, you can't get tickets do sell out proper fast.
Yeah.
The prize fighter though. So what was it like to get drawn into like a bit of a competition, knockout style?
Yeah.
Like, how do you go into it? I've seen like bits and pieces online. I bet you just think,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about fight. I was gonna say like, who do you think? Oh, I prefer to fight them, or how do you go about it, or do you just prepare yourself? Or
you just kind of just prepare. It's something different, isn't it? Like a tournament.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care who I fight, but this tournament kind of went perfect, to be fair, because I had a broken hand before I even started, so it kind of all just went to plan. Everything went perfect, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he basically fought that tournament with one hand. Like training wise, he did not throw any right hands. we just saved it till fight. I said, in the fight, you know, you got adrenaline pumping. You know, if there's a time to throw a right hand, you'll throw it. You'll be all right.
Got a lump there.
Yeah.
I broke it in an MMA fight and like knackered all the ligaments. It was in December last year, and the tournament started end of January, and I already got matched up, and I said, I'm not pulling out. I'm going to win this. So obviously, like, I in my head, I wanted this tournament because I wanted to work for this. And if I didn't do this tournament, it would have set me back. So I kind of just worked my left jab. I won the first fight with a jab, I think. Second fight, left hook. That was like all lefts.
Yeah.
By the final, it was just like a war, 7 round. But
Yeah, like when we're in final, like, fuck it, just throw your right hand more now, because that's it. All you got to do is win this fight, and then you can just chill out. You know, you've won the prize fight. We'll heal up after.
The plan is just to obviously get through the quarter and semi without much injuries, and then we get to the final.
What's interesting though is this weekend, Saturday we're down there, and they're doing a 4-man tournament, but it's in one night. So obviously we did an 8-man tournament over 3 events. So you have got time really to like, right, I'm fighting this guy, you know.
6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. So we had time to like work on each, and we knew who we were fighting because we'd see the other bracket who won, you know. So really we did have a bit more of a chance to plan. Whereas this one on Saturday, it's just 4 people, so you got 2 fights.
Yeah.
What, back to back?
Yeah, and the draws tonight.
Well, I think they're going to draw it tonight. So they'll know tonight who they're fighting tomorrow.
So
and
2 fights in one night.
Yeah, and they'll probably fight at the start of the card, like 7 o'clock, and then they'll fight at the end of the card, maybe like 10 o'clock, 10:30. So a few hours in between. But you could get busted up. You could win the first fight and be fucked.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's the thing, innit?
it's going to be really interesting to see like the strategy.
That was interesting.
It's crazy.
That's $5,000, that the winner.
Yeah, and then last week as well, I didn't know that this were happening, otherwise I'd have fucking been there. But they did a Vale-Tudo tournament in Poland, which is basically MMA, no gloves, headbutts, stamping to the head on the ground like a street fight, no rounds, so it stops when there's a winner. They did an 8-man.
Pride.
Yeah, they did an 8-man tournament in Poland. That happened last week. So I'm already speaking to them now, looking to get guys on there. They're going to do May or June, I think, but yeah, that's what we're looking at.
People seem to want fighting in its rawest form now.
Yeah.
It's gone from like, the high boxing's gone mental, MMA's gone mainstream now, and it's like everyone's looking for like, what is that fucking?
Yeah.
Where's all these like mad
Extreme shit,
yeah.
stuff, like people want to see
Proper niche stuff out there now, man.
Yeah. People
blood,
want it.
don't
Yeah, it's like UFC 1. That's what UFC 1 was. You know,
Yeah.
there's no rules and no gloves, shit like that. And then it's evolved into what it is now, which is just a proper sport. It's a sport now.
I think that's why BKB is doing good, because it's just like 2 men without gloves, just like full on, scrapping. People just want to see blood and shit.
And they like the fact that obviously it's legal. You know, it's perfectly legal. People think that bare knuckle fighting's illegal, so it's like when they go to watch it, they feel like they're part of some kind of secret club. Honestly, that's what it is. It's like, oh fuck, yeah, we're going to watch bare knuckle. Maybe we'll get arrested and shit. Yeah, I think that's what draws people to it, because it's like
there's an edge to it.
It's like it's like you feel like
it feels like it's illegal, but it's not.
Yeah, people like that kind of shit, don't they?
It does kind of feel kind of undergroundy, doesn't it? Like,
I
don't know how to say it, but it's...
I think underground's the right word.
It's like
cause
off films and stuff, you think, underground street fighting, it's like bare knuckle. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it? Like, when I talk to people now, they still think, bare knuckle? What, like hay bales and that? Or
in a
underground?
car park, yeah.
If I talk to like lads at football and stuff, and I say, "Oh, I've got like a bare knuckle fighter coming up podcast," like, "Oh, they're like fucking gangsters." They're thinking
Yeah, we
it's
are.
some, like mad gang or. So yeah, do you know what? It has got that aura and.
Yeah, you got people like Dave Courtney fucking coming to watch and shit like that. You know, he's like a celebrity gangster, if you like. You get, it does attract all them kind of people. But yeah, it's like I say, it's legal. It's, what I mean, there's doctors and that. It's just run like any other professional, event. He has a medical,
Literally just a boxing show without gloves.
Yeah, that's it. The only difference is they ain't got gloves on. That's it. And
it's 2-minute rounds instead of 3. That's it. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah,
you get a
that's
20-second count, 16 or something like that.
Yeah, 20-second. You get a 20-second count instead of a 10-second count. So that's
So there's a few little like
little tweaks, but it's not too far removed from what people watch every weekend watching boxing. So,
but I think they do 2-minute rounds as well, just because it's like faster pace as well. Do you know what I mean? So smaller ring, 2-minute rounds. It's just like letting some wild dogs in there.
Yeah, do you know what it is, man? Though when you watch it and it's like there's no feeling out process.
No.
Like
you ain't got time to think. It's
that's
just,
why people want to watch it, I guess.
It's unpredictable,
People
right?
don't-
Yeah, it
like,
is.
It's a lot of people are relatable,
anything can happen.
normal, not average people, but people
No.
you see knocking around like your local areas, and then they're in there doing that. I think it's pretty cool, man. That's why people probably relate to it.
yeah.
Could see that in Leeds on a Saturday night, or you can go pay to the O2 and see two pros. At least they're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
it's like back in the day. I remember when I first watched MMA live, there were like this fucking buzz about it. You went, "I'm like, fucking hell, this is crazy." And there's a first time I saw a cage, because MMA back in the day, there were no, you couldn't buy a cage. You couldn't like Google MMA cage and buy one. It just didn't exist. So all MMA events were in, like my first probably 4 or 5 amateur fights were in either a ring or just on some mats. That's it. There were no cage. It was just a regular boxing ring or mats. And then when I first saw a proper cage, I was like, fucking hell, this is serious. This is like...
It does look a bit more...
Yeah, you got like a
brutal,
buzz from it. And then I've probably cornered probably about 1,000 fights now. I've been in the corner, so I've just seen, it's just normal. This is just normal now. I see it, and it's like, but with the bare knuckle, it's like new again. You know what I mean? It's like I get that buzz when we're there and I'm cornering for bare knuckle. It's different. It's like a different vibe. So I think everybody's got that. All the fans, everybody.
Yeah, it's like when you go to an MMA show, it's like you look at the cage and it's like, it does look brutal, doesn't it? Just when you look at a cage, it's like 2 men getting locked in a cage, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, I take it for granted. Me, like when someone comes in the gym, we've got a full size octagon in our gym. So if someone comes in, they want to get in cage, and like, fucking hell, is this what you're fighting? And I'm like, yeah. But to us, it's just normal.
It's just like a normal thing.
Just
innit?
normal. Now we're desensitized to it. But I think in 10 years, you probably be like, oh, bare knuckle. They'll be doing white collar bare knuckle. Charity bare knuckle. It'll be like fighting with fucking weapons and shit instead.
Fucking Hunger Games next one.
We need to. That's it. We need to stay ahead of the curve and get on the next fucking
with
thing.
head guards.
Yeah, we'll do like sword fighting or something.
No, I've actually seen that. There's like medieval fighting.
It's on M1 Global, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I fought on a show and they do it in Russia. They like get swords like in armor and that, and they start having battles in the kit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Mad.
So let's. You won the prize fighter.
Yeah.
And then they made the match with Jimmy Sweeney. Everyone like gives him all this hype, like King of Bare Knuckle. Like like you don't even have to be that into it to even find him and know about him and know what he's about. And then we asked like a few people that are in Bare Knuckle. I'm like, yeah, he's fucking sick. He's like got this like
people
mad aura, like
it's quite big.
BKB.
Yeah.
And you just didn't give a fuck, really, did you? And I kind of think it must have wound him up.
You need to have that attitude, otherwise you've lost already.
Yeah.
If I went in just like being negative, thinking what Jimmy's accomplished, then I've already lost, I think. So I just kind of switched into the zone like for 8-9 weeks, thinking I'm gonna battle this guy. Like nothing. I didn't even think what he could do or anything, but I had a really good mindset for that fight. So.
Would you know in your process, would you go and watch like his past fights, or would you just solely focus on yourself and let down?
To be fair, I didn't really watch many. I watched a couple, but like I say, I get my coaches to watch them and a couple of my teammates, and we'll all come up with a game plan, strategies. So yeah, it was everything went perfect, really good.
How did you get into that mindset though? Like people talk about mindset on this podcast loads.
Yeah.
But how did you? Is it something that you've naturally had, or is it something you've had to work on?
No, I've always been quite strong-minded. To be fair, going into fights and that, because I just don't really give a shit. I just jump in and fight. But it's only recently I've started to become more better at it. Like controlling the mind more, like thinking. Like enjoying the fights more, walking out to the fight and just enjoying it. A lot of times, a lot of people don't enjoy it, but yeah, I've been working with a guy, John Wattham as well. He's like a really good mind coach. But like I say, having positive people around you always puts you in a good place. good coaches. So yeah, it's the mind. You've got to have a good mind to go into a fight, otherwise you've lost. You've already lost the fight before you go in. And I've had a couple of fights in amateur where I've lost before I've gone in because I've thought, I'm shitting it before I go in. So it's good to get them out of the way early days. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all about being positive and.
It's good as a coach because I've cornered. I mean, we've got about 50 fighters that were active at the minute out of the team, but obviously over the years I've cornered hundreds of different people, and it's like a good, it's like an experiment for me because I've always been pretty strong-minded and I don't know why, but I think from just fighting at a young age, I just got used to it, and I'm just, fighting just became a normal thing. So I didn't really like get scared and think, oh fuck, you know what I mean? I just get ready and fight. So I've always had a pretty strong mind, but then when you're training people and that, and the people are good in gym, and I'm like, oh fucking hell, I'll get you a fight, and it turns on, get to fight day, you're warming up, and then you just see that they're like,
crumble.
There's something not there. And you're like, shit, and everyone's different. But it's like, for me, it's like it's like a big experiment. Like I get to just see where, like, just before a fight, you see what someone's real character is, because there's that's it. They're just fucking stripped to the bone, aren't they? There's nothing. They're gonna have a fight now, and they can't. They're not on Facebook saying, "Yeah, I'm fighting. I'm gonna fucking smash it." Them, yeah, it's like they're on their own now. They're gonna walk to the ring in 1 minute. Like what are they fucking saying and doing now? It's like a good thing to see. And sometimes I've got to try and pull people out if they're in a fucking bad place. I've got to try and coach them out of that, and reassure them and say, "No, everything's good. You've done all your training and that. Let's do this." And some people there's people who aren't so good in the gym who are like fucking super confident when they fight, like they're just fucking, yeah, fuck it, let's just go. And it's crazy to see the difference, and it's very hard to get both of those things to match up, like someone who was very good in the gym and then who's got the mindset as well. When you get both of them, and people like Rico, and we've got other fighters that, who can kind of balance both, that's when you get, good wins and stuff.
How much do you think mind coaching helps? Like, can it help 100%? Can it flip someone that's shitting it before into a beast? Yeah. Or does it only do like 20-30%? What do you think?
Yeah, we actually had, so I've worked with this guy John Wattham for years. We actually had him on Man and Josh's podcast. We had him on there last week, and he does triathlons. He's a really like inspirational guy. He come from like a bad background, mixed up with drugs and stuff, and then he became like a drug and alcohol rehab counsellor for the NHS. So he did all that, so he counselled people and, helped from his own experience. And then, but his passion is athletes. He wanted to, he's a triathlete. He wants to work with boxers and stuff. So he quit his job just to focus on that. So, but I've known him for years, and I've always had this like good mindset. I've always thought in my head, I don't need a mind coach. You know what I mean? I'm sound. Everything's good. But, the more I've spoke to him, and I got him in and he did a seminar with all the fighters, the more I can see the value in it. For me as well, it's probably like 10% I need that. He could probably help me like 10%, but for some fighters, it could be fucking 95% of what they need is just what he's got to say to them. Do you know what I mean? And just change that mindset, and so I think it's different for every single person.
Could be just little things.
Yeah.
A lot of people just overthink the situation, don't they, before a fight, thinking, what if he does this? But you just got to not think of that. You need to get in like a zone where you just don't think of that, even though it's mad.
How much do you think some of the videos you guys put out before the fight, like messing around? So you had some viral stuff going on. And we were fucking joking about it earlier today. How much do you think that kind of played a part? It's like, because from the outside looking, it's like, guys, he's meant to have the biggest fight of his fucking BKB career. And he's pretending to attack Danny Mitchell on the toilet. Do you know what I mean? How much do you think it played a part? I think it's class that you boys have fun.
I think it's definitely help because you're having a laugh. You're not too serious all the time, so it does help like in a lot of ways. But yeah, you just got to have a laugh and enjoy it.
That's the main thing. If you're doing this, if you're in this game and you're not enjoying it, if you're in here just to you think you can make money at it or whatever, or you feel like you're doing it to, impress other people, you're in the fucking wrong game because it's fucking tough. And those kind of people will come in and they'll fight a few times and they'll leave and you'll never see them. But like I say, this is my life, this is what I do, and this is the same for Rico. He don't do anything else. Everything he does is just for fighting, So we have to enjoy it. we have a fucking laugh at gym. It's
quality.
Well, and sometimes people think that as we're not serious, but that's not the case. We're fucking more serious than the people who are like not having a laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like when it comes to the training sessions, then you switch and just that's it. You zone in, you get in flow. And then you just like you train solid. But then when you finish, that's it. You're back having a laugh again. That's what it's about, isn't it? Really.
You can see it in changing rooms, like because we've got such a big team in changing rooms. You know, I'll put music on and everyone's, you know, I'll be fucking singing and laughing and shit. And you see the other teams and they're like, right, we need to do this drill, and they're trying to teach the fighter. Oh, well, right, if he does this, you do this. It's fucking too late for that. If you've got to fucking if you've got to show him something backstage, if you're like, right, if he jabs, you're gonna do this. It's too late. Like, there's nothing you can teach that person. You've just got to get them warm, get them moving, get them feeling good. It's more of a. I used to always look for the perfect warm up. Oh, what stretches should we do? How should we warm up? But now I just think it's just about, you know, just having a laugh and keeping them in good spirits and just getting them loose, getting them warm, and then going. You know, it's not like
every BKB fight, I just literally do a bit of shadow boxing and I'm done. That's the warm up.
It's fun. If you're in the changing room, you'd laugh.
Everyone else is like smashing pads.
Yeah, like other fighters come in, don't they, to our changing room and they're like, "Fucking hell, what's going on in here?" And we've just got tunes on, we're all dancing and saying stupid shit.
Just literally warm up dancing, listening to rave songs.
Yeah,
90s, 80s. Yeah, I think Josh got a shock because they were filming in there, and he was just like, "I can't believe it's like this." He didn't expect it, did he?
But then any other changing rooms are super serious, like, you know, they're sat there and they're, you know, talking to themselves, right, fucking hell, this is what we're going to do, and, you know.
That's what gets you in a good mindset as well, obviously. You know, just having a laugh, enjoying it.
Being relaxed, innit?
Yeah.
Relaxed
if you're sat there like, right, what am I going to do?
Getting hyped up.
It's like, John spoke about this on that seminar with fighters, is like, when you're sat there and you're thinking about this fight and you're going through every scenario and you've got 2 hours, your body, the same chemicals are getting released as if you were fighting. So your body's like getting tired.
Burning
you know
out.
what I mean? Because it's just, you just fucking... You're
playing it through in your mind.
Exactly, yeah. You're just do it. That fight is happening now. Your body's not physically doing it, but you know, the fucking neurons are firing exactly the same as they would in the fight. So that's why people are super fit in the gym. You know, everything's good. They get into the fight and they start gassing out, and it's like, fucking hell, I didn't do enough. And it's like, nah, you just fucking sat there and you just got rid of the fire that were already there. You know, you burnt it out before the fight. So that's why it's better to just stay relaxed and just switch it on when it's time.
Mentally drains you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, I think that'd be the worst fucking thing in a fight, especially if you're headlining, you're fucking waiting for everyone, you're sat there for 2 hours.
I know. Well, it's probably more. It's like sometimes 4 or 5.
Yeah. I remember, I think it were my second pro fight in MMA. I entered a 4-man tournament, so that's like what's happening this weekend. 2 fights in one night. So the first fight was at 7 o'clock. It went the distance and I won. And then the next fight was at 1 a.m. So I was just laid backstage. I was fucked. The guy who'd won the other bracket won in like 30 seconds. So we were fresh. So I was just laid there like, fucking hell. I'm eating fruit, drinking water. I'm tired. Drink some coffee. Then I'm fucking got anxiety, and I'm like, fucking hell. So by the time I fought, I was fucked. You know, I'm in this final, I'm like, fucking hell, I'm fucked here, like, all my muscles. Like, it felt like, you know, when you're in a dream and you just can't get...
Zapped.
Yeah. I'm like, fucking hell, this is shit. And then I just, like, flicked a left head kick, and boom, it caught him, dropped him. I'm like, fucking hell, yes. And I'm trying to finish him, and it was just like, my punches just weren't working. But I'd done enough to kind of daze him, and I rode out and won a decision. But I was fucked in that fight. I was like, yeah, it was terrible. Terrible.
That's a long wait.
Yeah, so yeah, it's tough. It's tough. That the waiting is the hardest bit. That's why it's better to just enjoy it, have fun and stuff. If you just sat there stewing about it, you know, it's like waiting to die, innit? You know, imagine you got to sit on that electric chair for fucking in 10 hours. What would you do for 10 hours? You'd just fucking have the time of your life, wouldn't you?
Party,
yeah. You won't be sat there. You can't sit there thinking, fucking hell, in 10 hours I'm gonna be fucking sat on that chair. You just got to enjoy it, haven't you? So it's only the same thing.
God's sake.
Fucking right though, man.
That's it. People do fucking like the waste, like not waste, but like they throw away that time where you You get to know yourself.
When you could be enjoying it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could be enjoying it, but
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah.
What is it, losing or whatever?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do in that time that's going to change the outcome of that fight. You know what I mean? You can't learn anything new in that time. You can't. You know, there's nothing you can really do. So you might as well just enjoy it because you're going to get in there, and what's going to happen is going to happen. You know, it's very hard to change that once you get in. So it's better to at least go in there feeling happy, feeling positive, than if you go in there just feeling shit and tired. So
that was the biggest fight of my life and my career. Do you know what I mean? But it was like the most I enjoyed. Like I never enjoyed a fight so much. Like the whole build up, everything, because I was like super chilled and just having a laugh. Enjoyed it.
So Danny, going into that fight, how did you prep Rico for that fight with
Defense
Sweeney?
lab.
Yeah, how was it?
we signed up to the Defense Lab instructor program. It's $49.99. You get access to all their online videos now. So yeah, we just, you know, me and a couple of the other lads at the gym, we looked at Sweeney. We just looked at his style and stuff and looked what he was doing, and we just thought, yeah, we can deal with this. Obviously, everybody in BKB is like, oh yeah, Sweeney's a man. You know, he's the best guy in there. So that's who we wanted to fight. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew like this is the toughest fight. We were under no illusions that, you know, we weren't just going to go in there and fucking steam through him. We knew it was going to be tough.
What was he, 23-1 or something like that?
Yeah, and his only loss he'd avenged. So yeah, we came up with a bit of a plan. We had a plan. We looked at his style and that, and yeah, we literally just worked on that. We brought in sparring partners. We had Adam Hadfield, who'd fought and beat Sweeney previously in a glove boxing fight, so we had him. We had some guys who could actually replicate Sweeney's style as well. So we were just constantly just looking at that style and figuring out little things we could do, and pretty much everything we did in the gym we got to do in the fight. You know, like certain combinations, certain shots that we were looking at, and
kind of just replicating what he does as well, with the arms up and stuff like that, waving, putting him off like the Cobra style.
Yeah, we were taking the piss out of like Snake style, but that's what he does to like getting people's head. He'll move his hands around, and people don't know what to do. They're used to just someone standing like this throwing punches.
I mean, in bare knuckle, you can't go like this, like boxing, because you're just gonna get just jabbed to bits. I think it's mad. Yeah, it's just a different style. So we tried to Sweeney basically. That's what we did. Yeah. I even did shape one and nearly got killed.
Yeah. There were obviously the little laps in round 3.
I got a bit confident.
Yeah, and it, Rico just dived in and got caught, and then luckily, I mean, he's super fit and he's super composed. He jumped up straight away, and if you watch the video, I'm like, go back down. I make him go down, and just take the count and recover. And then everyone's going crazy, like, fucking hell. I just thought, if I can just get through this round, we're good. And he caught you again, didn't he? He got knocked down again.
Yeah, he wanted it over and done with.
Yeah, he was like pushing the referee out way, like, come on. And then we managed to, and then right at the end of the round, there were like a little, like, I don't think he knocked Sweeney down, but he like caught him and like knocked him off balance, and Sweeney actually hit the floor, and then he like sort of fell over, then he bounced straight back up, and I think that sort of helped that happened, because it sort of broke up a bit of the momentum. He's like, fucking hell, he was down for a second, then the bell rang. And then, between rounds, I was just like, Rico, right, we just need to stay away from him. I'm like, let's just survive a round. Let's just fucking stay away from him. Take your time. But then watching that 4th round back, I thought he did fucking great.
Recovered really quick.
Yeah, he was catching him with solid jabs, solid straight rights.
Yeah, because after the second, I got a bit too carried away. And it coming to the third, I was because I got too confident, I was diving in with the right hand a lot, and that's when he caught me. It's exactly what we said. Don't dive in with the right, because he's going to come with the left or right. I think he come in with a straight right.
Yeah. But it was like a short little shot, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, like he's really good on them inside exchanges and stuff. So
I think it made the fight better as well. Getting knocked down and get back up. It's like Rocky.
It's a funny little something.
Yeah.
So with that then, how hard is it even to stick with a game plan in a fight? You've worked on it. Now you're actually in there. Like, through all your career and through all the fights that you have, like, how easy is it to to do that? Because you from the outside,
Yeah.
people are like, oh yeah, just jab him or
Worst for
do that, right? But when you're in there, you
Yeah.
do you switch? Do you want to just go for him, or what? Do you can
Yeah,
use your head to-
sometimes like again, it's going back to the mind again. If your mind's on, you're in that state where everything's coming natural, like you're training. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So everything you've trained is like coming out in the fight, but you just got to keep your head on to not go crazy and lose game plans and stuff like that. So you just got to keep your head switched on. It's easy to come out of it. So
Yeah, I mean, you've got a plan. Obviously, things go wrong. You can have a plan and things go wrong, but I think it's always better to go in there with a plan than no plan.
yeah.
It's good to have a goal when you go in there. Right, this is what we're working, and sometimes it don't work, and you got to change things up.
Yeah,
and that's why it's
same,
important in corner that I can understand what he's doing, and I can be like, right, Rico, this is not working. We need to fucking change it. Let's do this instead. And he has to trust me that that's the right decision as well, because I might have trained him one way, and then on fight day, I'm like, shit, this is not working. We got to switch it, and he has to believe me. Otherwise, then there's conflict. He might be thinking, no, I'll just carry on fighting like this, and that might not be right.
Yeah, that final didn't go to plan really because it was super awkward. James Canelli, and he kept dipping his head a lot, and I couldn't really get my shots going. So after so many rounds, I thought, we just thought, fuck it, we're just gonna swing down.
Because every time he's trying to like land that perfect shot, he's ducking, and there were a lot of clinching going off. We're just gonna have to just.
Yeah.
I literally said to him in corner, I'm like, you're gonna have to go like Diaz style.
Yeah.
I said, you're just gonna have to throw lots of punches and just beat him that way, because the stuff we worked on, we couldn't land because of how he were just positioning himself. I just kept dipping every time.
Yeah. Super awkward. It was an awkward fight. That tough.
Yeah, but good fight, wasn't it?
It was good. Yeah.
So what's it like when it's going well? You're super confident. You're landing what you want to land, and then you have that moment where you get dropped. You're like, fuck. Like, do you panic like, fuck? Have I just wasted 2 rounds? Like, how do you feel in that moment? Like, Danny's in the corner, he can't really help you until you get back in there.
It just goes super quick. Like you don't even have time to think 'cause it's just like so quick.
Yeah.
So it's just like natural instincts, and then obviously we had the break, and then Danny gets me to reset again. Just calms me down and say, look, go back to normal, back to the beginning. So you kind of go back to the game plan again. It does throw you off a little bit, but then if you're strong minded again, it's the same thing. Just go in. Like if you get dropped, it could break a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's like fight or flight, isn't it? In that moment, he could have thought, fuck this, I need a way out, and just stay down or whatever. And a lot of people do. A lot of people, they stay down, and then while they're down, they're just thinking, fucking hell, it's not for me, this. And they take the count and they get counted out, and then they're like, oh no, I could have carried on. But it's like Rico, as soon as he got knocked down, he'd fucking jump straight back up, and I'm like, no, like fucking, yeah, because that's his instinct. His instinct is to fight, so he's like, fucking hell, let's go again. So I've got to calm him down and be like, nah, let's just have a little fucking minute, because he's still dazed. He don't know. He's like stumbling around. I'm like, back down. Yeah. So it's been able to control that as well.
That was the first time I've been dropped in BKB as well.
Yeah,
6 fights. First time I've been dropped. Yeah. So.
But
good going, man.
So consistency with coaches, right? And then I watched something the other day, and they were talking about like how people like train. Some people seem to change like camps and trainers loads. Like why? What makes someone make that call? Because you two have like you came in, you downstairs chatting. Like we see on Josh's podcast, you've got a fucking sick bond.
Yeah.
But then other people might not have that, and they need to feel like they need to be with someone else and train somewhere else. Like when does that, for your mind, like when does that happen, and why would it happen as a fighter? It's always kind of interested me. Like
I think it's got to happen naturally. It's just like fucking finding a girlfriend or whatever. Like some fighters all come and train with me, and it's just not for them. And sometimes I know it. Like we've had people train with us, and I've just thought this gym's not the right place for them for whatever reason. And they've moved on to different gyms and stuff, and sometimes it's the fighter, sometimes the fighter's training, and they think, oh no, this is not right, because at the end of the day, like I'm the head coach, so it's up to me to tell Rico what to do. Basically, I'm like, this is what you need to do, and if he don't believe that, if he don't like, if he thinks that I'm wrong, then he's in the wrong place, really.
Yeah, the fighter's definitely got to trust the coach. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't trust your coach, then what are you gonna do? You need to change gyms.
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches, you know, do underhanded shit. You know what I mean? Because obviously, especially professional fighting, there's like money involved and stuff, and it's like sometimes that can become problems between people, and it's just your normal like relationship stuff. But you know, I've got all these fighters, and I'm dealing with them. You know, they've got their own problems, and then you know, it's kind of managing all that. It's tough, really. It's tough, and for me as a coach, you know, I'm very interested in like coaching, and I've read a lot of books on like a lot of like the Olympic coaches and stuff like that, and like the models that they use to create the top level athletes, you know, because there's high level athletes, but then there's the guys who win gold at the Olympics every time, you know, and what's the difference? And one of the major things is about making the athlete autonomous. So if Rico just relies on me, you know, he trusts me, and you know, I can tell him what to do, but if he just relies on that all the time, it's maybe not in his best interest. So it's up to me to make him autonomous. So when he wakes up in the morning, he knows like, I'm not going to go for that run because my fucking knees are hurting and I shouldn't really be fucking pounding, so I'm going to swim instead. I don't need to tell him that. He can do that, and then he can just message me, I swam this morning because of this. Yeah, that's the right decision, you know. So it's up to me to try and make him autonomous, you know, rather than him just asking me questions every day. What do I do today? What do I need to do? You know, I'm just here to kind of steer him a little bit. If he goes off track, you know, I just steer him. And I think that's the best coaches. That's kind of what they do. So
because then that way, I guess he's learning for himself as well, in that, rather than be
and then eventually he might become a coach, and that helps him as well. You know, having that kind of style. Whereas I would say, this is what you do. These are your fucking combinations you're doing. You know, this is what you're doing on these days. It might not work for him, you know, that's set. You need to, every fight is different. It's like a fucking artist painting a masterpiece. Not all artists paint the same. Everyone's different, aren't they? So he's got to kind of paint his own masterpiece, and I've just got to help him along the way, really. But, you know, his style's different. We've got a crazy gym. A lot of gyms are like, you know, you might talk about a certain gym and be like, and the same in boxing, you know, oh, that's the style that comes out of that gym. You know, that's, you know, they all work, you know, Mayweather, they've all got this fucking Philly shell style. You know, if you go to Mayweather's, that's what you're going to be working. And whereas our gym, everyone's fucking different, aren't they? We've got like, everybody's different. We've got like guys who are good jiu-jitsu, good wrestlers, good boxers, kickboxers. You know, it's all different. So I think we've created a good environment, really, for like...
so many different people to train with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, different.
So just say you're fighting one guy, one show, like, and a completely different guy the other show. There's always someone in that gym to train with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, you know, if you're fighting and you're fighting a southpaw who like kicks a lot, I've got someone in the gym who can spar. And then if you're fighting someone who's orthodox who throws a lot of elbows, I've got someone else who you can spar. So there's something for everyone there, you know, which is good. Where a lot of gyms are just like clones of the fighters are just clones of the coach. So yeah, I'm trying to. I don't think there's anybody who's actually like me in gym, really. Is there? Like my style.
So as a coaching model, then you won't force the same, I guess, what techniques and.
Nah, I mean the basics are the same for everyone. Like a jab is always going to be a jab. Do you know? I think the basics of everyone and are the same for everyone, and everyone needs to learn them fundamentals. But I think past that, I think that it's, you know, sometimes fighters, I see people do shit, and it's like, fucking hell, I wouldn't have thought of that. You know, stuff that works. So a lot of it's about being creative as well, and you know, the stuff that works for Rico that's not going to work for me and for other people. So
throwing mad shapes.
Yeah.
It is weird. Like now we started boxing. It's been almost a year now, and you see it like everyone's style's different, and it, like you say, it is like a bit like art, really, in a way. Like no one's the same, and it's what you bring that's different and gives you that edge over someone else. And
yeah, that's it. That's what makes fights, isn't it? They say styles make fights, so that's what people want to see. They want to see, oh, is this guy's a fucking brawler and he's fighting this technical boxer. It's like, yeah, and again, it tends to be certain gyms will have a certain style, you know, a certain way of training that'll make them like that. And fighters sometimes leave gyms because of that. You know, there might be a fighter in a certain gym that's like a gym full of brawlers, but really they need to be training more like a technical fighter, so they need to change gyms for that reason. And yeah,
Mad process.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I enjoy it being a coach. You know, I enjoy seeing all the different styles and stuff. And like I say, my way of coaching might not be for everyone. Some people like to be told exactly what to do. They like that fucking, right, this is what you're doing, stick to this. So I'm a bit more laid back, a bit more relaxed. So, but yeah, it's like, you know, I've got Rico. There's different fighters. Like Rico spends a lot of time with me as well because he lives in Gainsborough and I live in Doncaster. And then Leeds is like, yeah. So he always comes to my house, and do you know what I mean? He's like, before we came here, he comes in and my little lad calls him Uncle Rico and beats him up and stuff. And he even made you a little poster, didn't he? He never made me a fucking poster. Little bastard.
The same winner.
But he loves it, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He loves fighting and that. It's
Gonna
crazy.
get him bare knuckling soon.
Get him in as well. So Danny, question for you, man. So, like you were saying, you've coached a lot of people, 1,000 plus. What do you see separates the elite from your average Joe, like mindset wise? You know, going into the fight. What can you tell us some of the key attributes?
There's a lot, and it's hard. It's very hard to get someone who's got everything. But
is there a few core?
I think number one is they've got to really want it. You know, they've got to really want to. It's like the desire to win needs to be more than the skill. You know what I mean? The will has got to be greater than the skill, because I can make the skill better, but I can't make the will better. You know, so that's the first thing. Like sometimes lads come in gym and people are like, "Fucking hell, he's really good, isn't he?" And then after a while, you kind of think, he's not got the right mindset for this. You know, maybe he's just not that dedicated or whatever. I've got loads of lads who are like really good, but maybe they just don't dedicate themselves properly in the right way, and they're just not gonna, you know, get to that elite level. So for me, yeah, that's the main thing. Is that it's that will. It's like when you wake up in the morning, are you gonna train or are you just gonna fucking do nothing? You know, are you gonna come to them key sessions? You know, like tonight, Friday sparring, that's like, I tell all the fighters, Friday at 7 o'clock, be there. That is like the time to fucking turn up. You know, if you've had a shit week, you know, you're feeling run down or whatever, just fucking chill all week if you want, but turn up on Friday, 7 o'clock, just be there, you know. And for me, it's like, I focus now, because I've got so many people, and I've got a lot of coaches that help me. But now, like going into 2020, I'm so fucking busy. What I'm starting to do is I'm looking who's turning up on that Friday at 7, and I'm like, right, these are the guys who I'm going to work with, you know, because that's the hard session. That's the session that you could fucking skip out on, you know, if you're fucking feeling a bit shit. So I just look at that now and I think, right, who's here every week, who's not making excuses. They're the people who are, you know, eventually, maybe not, they don't maybe start very good, but eventually, you know, they're going to be good because they just turn up. So I think that's a big part of it. It's like that, just the will to fucking, to work harder than the other guys and to be there every week, you know, no matter what. So, yeah, like I say, skill can be learned. You know, you could learn how to do anything. You know, you can learn a language, you can do whatever. But it's that will. It's like, that's what I want to do this year. I want to learn Polish, yeah? So I've like, right, I want to learn Polish. So, but I've been saying I wanted to learn a language for years, but it's just that will to actually get there and do it. But now it's like, nah, I really want to do it now. Like, I'm really going to try and, you know, and do that. So, yeah, yeah, that's it. I think it's that will to win. And the rest can be learned. Obviously, the mindset, you know, we can tweak that. But if you haven't got the will, there's no point, is there?
No. Do you think consistency is underrated now? Into like, even take it out of fighting.
Yeah.
Day to day, everyone wants everything yesterday.
Exactly. Everyone just wants, you know, they want that nice car now. They want the fucking nice house now. And like I'm doing pretty good at the minute. You know, I've got a good business. You know, I've got the gym. I've got other things that I do as well. And you know, right now everything's cool, but. People say, oh, fucking hell, you've never had a job, your fucking life's cushy, you've got a fucking nice car, nice house, everything's sound. But it's like, yeah, when I was in the UFC, I was sleeping at gym. I slept in the gym. It was freezing in that gym in Dewsbury. Yeah. When I actually got the fucking email to say I've been signed to the UFC, I was sleeping in the gym. It was fucking snowing outside.
Fucking hell.
You know, and like I wouldn't say I was fucking poor or anything like that. You know, I wasn't living on the street or anything, but I had fuck all. I was literally just paying my bills with what I was doing. You know, teaching private lessons and that, and just paying for shit. You know, it's only recently I've managed to buy an house, and you know, so it's. But everyone sees that. They see that fucking end goal. Oh yeah, I want to be like fucking McGregor. It's a McGregor era.
They just want the results quick, don't they?
Yeah, they see.
Don't want to put effort in.
Yeah, they see the fucking. You know.
I think there has to be that process. That's where you figure out who you are.
Yeah, and the best fighters come through that. You know, when you talk about McGregor, you know, it ain't all been fucking sunshine and rainbows for him, has it? You know, like back in the day, you know. He was just fucking on the dole and shit and didn't really know what he was going to do, mixed up with bad people and stuff. So sometimes it's that bit of adversity actually makes things better. You know, makes a fighter who's had no like adversity in their life, who's just sort of like, you know, everything's on a plate for him. It's
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's sometimes not the best.
When you come up against someone, especially that doesn't have that
Yeah.
in the ring there.
Yeah, you've got guys. Let's look at Khabib, who were fucking brought up in mountains. His dad fucking beats the fuck out of him. You know, it's like he's like scared of his dad. He's like super scared of his dad. Like everyone, like in his village, like they all respect his dad. They're all like, he's like the fucking. Yeah. So, yeah, that kind of environment. It does. That's why you get so many good Russian fighters. You know, because they're coming from like these, you know, Siberia or whatever.
Crazy.
And yeah, it's just that they've just got hard lives, you know, and hard lives breed hard people. And yeah, like pit villagers back in the day, all these fucking pit villagers and stuff. And, you know, it's that kind of rough fucking northern mentality. I think that's.
There's some hard fuckers that come out of Doncaster.
Yeah.
We had Matt DeCasey on here ages ago.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
bumped into Dave Allen at a boxing show.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy as well, yeah.
There must be some tear-ups in Barnsley on a Friday night. Fucking
Yeah,
I was going to say to Rico, I was like, how much did 2 losses shape you?
What from the
first
start?
ones,
First
like,
two.
did that, does stuff like that make this even sweeter?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think it's good to get them first losses out of the way as well, because I made me work harder in the gym. Like, as soon as I lost that fight, I literally said, I need another one. Like, you know, they thought, he's going to have a bit of time off, but I was straight back in the gym and I was just like, I think I was fighting again a month later and I lost. I think the second one was even worse because it was like first 30 seconds or something, I got caught in a choke. And like, I just stormed off, chucked my medal and I was just fuming. But then I just worked on it and, right, I'm going to get better. And then, that, like I say, that first win was even better. So, it makes it better when you win.
It must be a dream to have a fighter like that, though. That's just in it to learn and grow and trusting that, like, just on it for a process. You just want to fight, you want to learn, you want to develop.
Yeah,
rather
that's
than,
it.
I want to be fucking
Get there.
Conor
and there's
McGregor. I
nothing
want
else.
80 million, like, this. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
they're
it.
in it for the right reasons, and then you find that
Yeah.
good things come when you've actually kind of got your head down.
Yeah,
You just,
definitely, yeah.
Like, keep
Yeah.
progress.
People don't really see how much you sacrifice for it. Like, I've quit my job and everything, you know what I mean? So, like, I do it full time, mainly because I enjoy it. You know what I mean?
People think you're minted now.
Yeah, they do.
he's got fucked all, poor lad. Sponsor him.
Big Shan's got it all. No, yeah, it's just I enjoy the process and enjoy it while I can and try and as long as I'm making, you know, a bit of a living out of it and getting by, I just enjoy the process. It's good.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's why it's really important for us for like sponsors and stuff like that, and like social media is massive now. It wasn't so big when I was kind of coming up, but now it's like, you know, if you want a sponsor, they're like, oh well, how many followers you got? If it's less than 10,000, like, yeah, I don't really care. But like, we'll go with this other guy instead. So yeah, I think that's really important. You got you know, the people fighting on fucking Bellator and shit who were just like off Geordie Shore, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and people moan about it, oh fucking hell, but it's like you've got to work now to build that social media. You got, you know, people have to fucking know who you are, and I think that's a big thing. And like say sponsors, like Rico relies on sponsors basically to keep him going through fight camps. Like if he didn't have sponsors, he'd have to get a job and then he'd sacrifice his training and then he probably wouldn't be in this position. So
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
yeah, it's like it is really important. Like if you've got a business out there and you know you want to invest in something, like obviously the CBD guys have really got behind him at Amazing Green.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, they pay for some of his training and give him products and stuff, and that's really good. That's what we need. So if there's any like businesses,
yeah, mainly like someone that really wants to help you, not thinking about, you know, the business too much. I've had sponsors where they don't really care about me; they're just bothered about their business. Do you know what I mean? So you got to kind of balance it out a bit.
yeah, it works together. You know, I mean, like I've got sponsors and stuff, and it's about working together and, you know, cross promoting each other's stuff and that. And yeah, it's like that's really what kind of keeps the fighters going. It's very hard to, you know, break through to that top level where you're making big money. And it's like Darren Till put something about it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think some, you know, obviously Darren Till is a superstar now, you know, but for years he was just on like the regional scene and stuff, and he got like loads of sponsorship offers. And he put a post out saying, fucking hell, no. He said, I don't want this sponsorship. He said, you need to give it to the fucking people who are on the way up. He said, that's when I needed it, and you didn't give me anything. And he's like, now you're all coming with these sponsors. Like, I don't need it now. I've got fucking millions in bank. So, yeah.
Like people want to know you when you've done good, like, you know, when you win belts, UFC. But when you're just starting off, no one really gives a shit, do they, really?
It's like buying an horse. You know, you're buying a racehorse. That's what it's like. Like, you don't know if that horse could win Grand National. You never know. But it's like, you got to fucking buy in that horse, and you got to fucking put that money in, and you got to feed it, and you got to make sure it's fucking, you know, it's looked after. Because one day that horse might win that Grand National, and that's going to fucking... So it's kind of like that with fighters. You kind of... You got to look at them fighters, and you know, some of them you just got to back them and try and help them, because that could push them on to big things. You know, you get fighters in the UFC and stuff. It's easy to get a sponsor when you're in UFC because millions of people are watching you. But I think, if you're a business out there and you want to help someone, I think that's a really good way. Is like, look at the amateurs and the early pros who are grafting hard, because they're the ones who need it.
That's it, because most of them, like we've seen it with boxers. I've been in a boxing show, like they're all working full time. And then if they don't have a profile, they've got to sell tickets. They're putting themselves out of pocket. It's tough, man. It's not easy at all.
Oh yeah, it's really tough. But I mean, boxing just built on ticket sales. Like, it's really, you know, it's cutthroat. Really, you know, it's like you sell X amount of tickets or you don't fight. You just become a journeyman. So that's kind of how it works in pro boxing. That's kind of how it works. You know, when you start out, it's like, do you want to be a ticket seller and fight in the home corner and have all the advantages, or do you want to just go out on road and fight these prospects and get your head fucking punched in and probably lose decisions that you should have won because you didn't sell any tickets? Because at the end of the day, the fans make it. Like, if you know, if you're selling tickets and you've got a fucking 200 people coming to watch you, it's in that promoter's interest for you to win that fight. Right. As bad as it sounds, it is in that promoter's interest, because he thinks if you win, then he'll get you another fight, and you'll get even more, you know, interest and stuff. Because nobody wants to back a loser, do they? You know, if again, back to the horse thing, if an horse keeps losing, you won't fucking bet on it. You want to see that horse, keeps winning. So, that's when it comes to promotion for boxing and MMA, it's ruthless, really, and that's what it's down to, is ticket sales.
That's it, man. Do you know, we found it, like, same as you guys, like when we started this podcast, we got it to a point where we thought, let's try and get sponsors and it's right, like no one gives a fuck when it's little or when it's small or when it's starting out, and we would have appreciated it the most.
That's it.
Appreciated it the most. It would benefit people the most, and now that's why, like, anyone that we know that's fighting, like, we always try and like buy tickets, go and watch them and support them, because really, like, if I don't go watch AJ, there's a million of us that will. But if no one, like, if I don't buy a ticket for like Jermaine or whoever, like, that does make a difference.
Yeah, it does.
That matters, and they appreciate it, and you're more invested in these people, like the people that you know, and you can talk to, and they'll have a laugh and a joke with you. And I don't know, man. I think it's actually cooler to follow local people. Like, the more I've done locally, like Leeds and Bradford and whatever, the more, like, I get into it, like, this is fucking sick. And if one person that out of everyone kind of makes it, what a fucking sick story.
Yeah, that's it. You followed them from the start or whatever. It's good to, you know, get behind people from your town or whatever. Obviously, Rico's from Gainsborough, so he's got like Gainsborough Trinity now, sponsoring him and stuff. And so you got like, it's good to just get behind your local sports people, whether it's boxing or MMA or bare knuckle or, you know, football or whatever. It's good to just get behind, and it's good for your community. you know, putting stuff into like local football teams or martial arts clubs and that, it just helps the community. I think it's sport's great, and I think in England we're really fucking behind in terms of schools. You know, I think it's like an hour a week you have to do in it at school. I think mandatory, like PE or whatever. They have an hour a week, which is shit, really. You know, you go to you go to I think some schools do more like sports colleges and stuff, but I think generally it's an hour is like the legal requirement. But like in America, they've smashed it.
Yeah, like all sports.
You get fucking scholarships. You know, you leave fucking college and or university or whatever. You've wrestled for fucking 8 years and you've had fucking 1,000 matches. You know, we leave fucking university and we've just been fucking smoking pot and you know what I mean?
Drinking all.
It's just been a party and you've got a degree that's not even going to get you a job anymore because it's just worthless and you're in loads of debt. It's like America have smashed it with that, you know, in terms of like sports, people leaving school and stuff and playing sports, and I think we could really benefit from that. But
we've got the facilities for it, you know.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Just doesn't happen like it does over on the
yeah,
other side of the world.
I'm reading a really good book called The Talent Lab, and it basically, again, about how they like groomed Olympic athletes, and a lot of what they did is they just looked at a certain sport. And say I can't remember which sport it was that they used as an example. Say it were like fucking tennis, just as a random one. It wasn't tennis, but say that, yeah. So what they did is, you know, whatever sport it was, we were doing really shit. Like Great Britain were just winning nothing. So they looked at the winners, looked at where they were from. They looked at like the body type, how tall are they? You know, are they physically? You know, are they strong? Are they lean? You know. Looked at all the physical attributes, how old are they, and they looked at that, and then what they did is they just got that template and just took it to schools and just tested people, you know, and then they just picked 2 or 3 and said, oh, you can come to this sports program now, and then some of them ended up becoming like Olympic gold medalists. These are people who'd never considered, you know, playing tennis or whatever sport it was. They literally fit the template to be a winner, and then they just got them and yeah, crazy. So, and I think if that were done on a much bigger scale, it'd be fucking great. You know what I mean? If people came to school and said, right, we're going to test everybody, you know, and you had like physical tests, you know, all kinds of different tests, VO2 tests. You could test everybody in the school and be like, right, this guy could be an Olympic fucking shot putter. You know, we'll take him out of school, we'll put him in a program, we'll pay him, we'll fucking give him an education, and he's going to do shot putting every day. And then, you know, he could go on to become an Olympic medalist. I think it's a great... And I think that could be done. Obviously, it's a lot of organising and shit. But I think
you see it around football, don't you? You see kids, there were kids in my school anyway that played for Leeds. They'd only train to come to school 2 days a week and play football the rest of the time. Yeah, so why can't that happen with all the other sports? Definitely. I think a lot of other countries do that. I think like Russia and stuff, I think they have really good, like how they recruit people. From like a young age to go. Obviously, there's a stage where it can become cruel. You know, we don't want to get into like cruelty and fucking infringing on human rights. Obviously, the people have to want. There has to be a want. You know, they have to want to do it. But I think it'd be great. You know, for the UK if we could do that. You know, look at schools and
Everyone's just turning to transgenders now.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone don't know what they are.
Yeah, no one knows what. It's not what you want to be when you're older. It's fucking they don't know what job.
Pick what you want.
Yeah.
We're just living a crazy time.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I abuse that stuff now. If I'm at we travel for work. If I'm at a petrol station, there's one toilet for the men and one for the women. It's locked. The woman's is open. I'm identifying for a woman for like 5 minutes. Because I need a fucking piss. So if anyone gives me shit when I come out, I'm like, you can't say that to me now.
I feel like a woman. I go in the women's all the time, me, Disabled.
Sniffing seats.
I want to try and rescue this podcast before we get taken off. What's the plans for the rest of the year, boys?
2020.
Hit everyone up, man. Let out some secrets.
Take out every single person who's in front of me. So first one, MMA in 5 weeks. 5 weeks tomorrow. We're down in Bristol. Fighting main event on Meltdown FC, it's called. Sick. So yeah, I'm getting back into MMA again, and then the next one after that will be May 23rd on BKB, fighting the winner of Tyler Goodjohn and Jimmy Sweeney. So that'll be interesting.
Who do you want?
Anyone.
You don't care,
I beat
right?
Jimmy.
The
so-
winner, whoever the winner is.
Yeah, I beat Jimmy, so if Tyler wants it, I'll smash him as well.
Yes.
But he's a bit, but yeah, he's a bit small, so I'll have to drop a little bit of weight. I don't mind.
Is that at a lower weight? Like,
Well, it is, but if it's for your belt, he's gonna have to come up, innit? If it's for your.
But I think he's like, they're doing one in the middle now. It's like a bantam, so we can just meet in the middle.
oh, catch weight.
Yeah, I think it might be
Yeah,
just
well-
tiny bit lower, maybe 74.
We'll see. Obviously, people can get. They could fight, and whoever wins, the winner could get injured. So yeah, we'll
But
just.
I'm definitely fighting. Yeah, headlining May 23rd. So that's the plan. I've had to cancel a holiday as well. My missus fuming.
Yeah, shit.
Someone's gonna have to get it then, right?
Yeah.
His missus is gonna beat him with a fucking handbag as well.
And then we're looking at MMA again 6 weeks after that. Keep him busy this year.
Active.
Yeah, stay in shape all year round.
If you can get like 5 or 6 fights in, that'd be a good
Yeah,
year, wouldn't it? If you can stay injury free and stuff.
I had 4 bare knuckles last year, which were good. That was all I did. So because I'm doing MMA this time, I want to mix it up, do both, try and get a few more fights in. So we'll see. Build up in MMA again. So
Yeah, because he's still got an MMA career. Bare knuckle you can only do for so long.
Yeah.
There's only Sweeney who's had he had 25 fights now, 24 fights. So it's like nobody really has had that many fights in it, have they? Apart from him. And maybe he's saying now it's his last year of fighting. He's coming to the end of his career, so it can't last forever doing bare knuckle. Whereas MMA, there's a bit more like longevity in it because you can it's a bit more grappling, wrestling. You're not just fucking bashing your hands off each other. So
I'll have to try and get to 25-0, beat his record.
Yeah. So but there's a big future for him in MMA as well. Off the back of this, BKB world title thing going into MMA, and trying to bring that across, bringing some of the fans across as well. Because there's a lot. The good thing is there's a lot of like boxing fans don't like MMA, but they like BKB, so they'll see Rico like, oh yeah, maybe they'll come across and it'll turn them to MMA as well. Because when he fights MMA, he's just going to try and punch people. So.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Still see some blood out.
Yeah. Squeezing a triathlon in there as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
April 19th.
April 19th, we've got a little triathlon.
So, yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do it as well.
You're gonna do it as
Rico
well?
will smash me. He's a beast. His fitness is like next level, and he can swim. He's like a seal. Honestly. Yeah, he's a good swimmer.
Yeah,
But
that'll be interesting. I like to
I'm
mix it
sure
up.
I'll come last, but I'll be there and I'll complete it either way. So
It's like new challenges, keeps you busy, keeps you on your toes.
That's sick, man.
Like I was doing loads of CrossFit and was going to do a CrossFit comp, but maybe like later in the year. But then I just can't. Different things. I'm competitive, so
I like that, man.
yeah, so it's good. It's just mixing it up a bit. Completed BKB, so I'm going to try and complete MMA.
Yes. Danny, what you got planned, man? Anything else in there for 2020?
yeah, I'm gonna jump on this triathlon in April, and then just to get me fit again. I've been out. I've had like 2 boxing matches, and then so like I'm supposed to be retired or whatever. I've had 2 boxing matches, and it was good to get back training and do it. Have a bit of a goal, because I get up in the morning. Obviously, I'm training lads every day, but I wanted something to aim for myself. So I thought, fuck it, let's get back in there. And then I spoke about this show in Poland, this No Holds Barred tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna speak with them this weekend, see if we can figure something out. Maybe possibly fight over there. Yeah, so we'll see. But my end goal is to fight, and I've fought all over the world, but I've never fought in Japan, and I'd really like to fight there. So I think that'd be a good kind of end to my career if I could do that, fight in Japan, and then retire and then
Stick to the
see what happens. Yeah.
You're like Mayweather, man. Keep coming back.
That's it.
Retire, come back.
I'll just have like one fight a year, just like beat some fat guy up or something. So yeah.
Fat Japanese guy.
Yeah, but
Funny
that
man, not getting paid. I'd just love to fight there as well.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Because they're big for it out there, aren't they? Like,
Oh,
those crowds are next level.
Yeah, I think the biggest ever MMA crowd, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was 90,000 at the Tokyo Dome. Like
Jesus
New Year's
Christ.
Eve 2005 or something like that. Pride Shockwave. So
90,000.
yeah, crazy.
That's Wembley Stadium.
Crazy.
That's mad.
Yeah, just full. The camera pans back and you just see all these people. Like, fuck, this is crazy.
Wow.
So I'd love to I'd love to fight there, and yeah, it's just a different. Everyone I've spoke to just said it's like just a different vibe over there. Like they're completely silent when you fight, and which is weird, surreal. Yeah, everyone's like, kill him, blood, yeah. But over there, they're completely silent, and it's like they'll just clap when something good happens.
That was the same as in when I went to Russia. That was just like quiet, just like proper enjoying watching the fights. Like there was no alcohol sold in the crowd. It was just people just clapping. It was weird.
Yeah,
different culture.
Yeah, that's it.
They appreciated it. You know what I mean? They weren't there just for a piss up.
I don't know if it's more sinister though. Like they're just watching it calm as fuck.
Yeah,
they're just clapping like
appreciate it. That elbow to the eye.
Just clap that shit.
Some psycho shit. But yeah, that's it. So if I can get a fight in Japan at some point, that'd be sweet. But I'm pretty busy cornering and coaching and stuff. Obviously we got Mark in the UFC London, March 21st. So yeah, that's a big fight for him. Hopefully, push him to the top 20. That's where he wants to be. That top 20 lightweight division in the UFC is crazy. Like every single name, you just read the top 20, you know every single person in that top 20. They're all fucking animals. They're all main events. Like the lightweight division is the most stacked division in MMA. So, like I say, just to get in that top 20 is a fucking feat in itself. So I really think and one more win for him will push him up there.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Busy year ahead.
Yeah.
Boom. If our listeners want to find you guys, where can they go to find you on Instagram or Facebook? Yeah,
Instagram or Facebook, Rico Bonbon Franco. I used to like bonbons. I've even called my dog it. So. Bonbons. It's like intimidating, isn't it? So yeah, Rico Bonbon Franco. Just give us a follow on there if you want to check me out. Keep you updated.
Oh.
Yeah, and then for me, it's just Danny Mitchell MMA. That's on Instagram and Facebook. Just check me out on there, and find me a message if you want to train or anything.
Toilet roll defense.
Do some if you want to be a BKB fighter, want to come and spar with Rico.
Send in their application video,
Yeah. you need a video of you shadowboxing. So get your mum to film it or whatever.
You gotta be naked.
Yes, boys. Thanks for that.
No worries. Cheers. Thank you.